I am Hatonn. I am with this instrument. We would now offer ourselves in the service of answering questions, or attempting them, to be more precise. Are there any questions which we might attempt to answer? I have a very minor one. I was just wondering if the reason that there was a pause there was because two of our members were asleep, and I woke them up, and as soon as I woke them up, you were able to come through. Was that a blockage? Is there is there a drain on the energy of the group if there is someone asleep? I am Hatonn, and we would answer you, my sister, by saying that in part you are correct. For the most efficient contact to be made, as you know, your tuning device, whichever you may use for the evening, serves the purpose of making each of the entities within your circle as one, each with the other, and it is to this total entity that we communicate. There was also another problem, shall we say, and that was this instrument was not concentrating as precisely as necessary, for his attention was also drawn to those who had, shall we say, momentarily departed our group. May we answer you further, my sister? That does it, except I was also interested in whether the children that were with us were content that we were meditating, and that was why the contact was such a good one tonight. I am Hatonn. We would say in this answer that the young entities which are resting now in the upper parts of this dwelling are a, shall we say, gentling influence upon the group, if they are not within the earshot, shall we say, of the group and the message, for if they were located too closely, then they may serve the opposite purpose of keeping the contact from occurring. For they are not yet of the age of decision, whereby they may decide that they wish to participate in this group, and as you know, each person within the circle must, of their own free will, choose to be within the circle and to experience the message which we have to offer. Thus, entities such as the young children may play either role, and on this occasion they are what might be called a gentling influence, helping each within the circle to find that openness of child within the self, which wishes to hear a message such as the humble and simple message which we of Hatonn have to share with your group. I am Hatonn, my brother. We hear your question. We would answer you by saying, as we have spoken earlier this evening concerning security, that those laws which your culture has conceived are laws which deal with your material world and deal with matters which are not the heart of your being. You may concern yourselves with them as much or as little as you like, for they are, if we may say so, of little consequence in the overall picture of your life, the journey which you are making, and the goal towards which each of you move. When you leave this density, you will, for a greater or shorter period of what you call time, depending upon your own individual need and place, shall we say, be able to tune into the universal laws which govern all creation. These laws are based upon the foundation of the love of the infinite Creator. These laws are those which shall guide you as surely as the stars have guided your sailors for centuries. These laws are those which are, at this moment, available to each of those upon your planet, available for the seeking, available to the seeker. We would suggest that you use each of the instances, such as the one which you have spoken of this evening, as what might be called a catalyst to discover the underlying or greater law, the law greater than the one on the surface, greater than appearance, greater than rules, regulations in the amount of water in a product. We would suggest that you use each puzzling circumstance as a riddle in your own mind, and let your consideration of it take you deeper and deeper until you discover for yourself the true law at its foundation. Again, my brother, we would say that you have discovered for yourself the necessary step to take. Indeed, meditation might be that procedure which would aid you in your balancing as you go about your daily activities. For most of the activities of the people of your planet do not have balance, do not have harmony. It is as if there is a disease, and those who participate within the daily activities of your planet are susceptible to this disease or imbalance. And by using the technique of meditation, you will find within yourself the ability to balance, so that the activities in which you participate during the day might become part of a larger understanding within your own being and might become, for you, catalysts to learn and to grow further and further into the understanding and the oneness of the infinite Creator. We cannot urge too often for you people to consider meditation as the opportunity to find any answers to the puzzles which are presented daily in your lives. My brother, as we have mentioned earlier this evening, each entity which joins this circle must join of their own free will, and in most cases this means that entities must be able to decide and be of the age of decision, whereby they may decide to join this group. We have, on some occasions, spoken to groups which contained entities who were of what might be called a young age, but these instances have been few, and we have, on those instances, been required by the decision of the group and of the young entities to speak in much more general terms than we are able to speak on this occasion. For instance, we would, in your case, suggest that as an alternative to bringing your young child to this meditation, that you attempt, through your own words, to explain to your child those concepts which have meaning to you, that you have derived from this meditation. And when your child is of an age whereby, through this dialogue with you, he or she is able to choose for him or herself to come to a meditation such as this and partake, then that shall be the time when it is proper to include your child. I am Hatonn, and I am with this instrument once again. As we were saying, it is not easy to determine the age at which a child may be able to decide for itself, but we might suggest that the age of decision-making for most children, a range, shall we say, for those of your peoples, is somewhat between the ages of approximately 4 to the age of 7. It varies according to individual circumstances. We would suggest further that in the case of your own child that you might proceed first if he is unable to understand complete sentences, that you explain words or concepts individually by actions which have meaning for your child. In this area, you will, of necessity, need to rely upon your own creativity, a type of communication which your child is able to understand, and which you are aware through experience with your child that he is able to understand and to connect with words and phrases. We would suggest as a next step that when your child is able to understand sentences, that you continue, as we previously suggested, to provide, may we say, your child with those concepts which are of value to you, and in this way begin the education on a spiritual level which will enable your child to understand those concepts which we present here. For when your child is able to understand those concepts spoken from your lips, as we speak to you, then he will also be able to understand what it is we have to share with each who attends these meditations. For we are none other than your other selves, or should we say, your brothers and sisters, who speak to you as brothers and sisters. Therefore, when your child is able to understand through dialogue with you, then you will know that he is also able to understand that which we have to share with those in your group. I am Hatonn. It has been a great privilege and an honor to be able to speak a few of our simple thoughts with your group this evening. We greatly appreciate each opportunity to join you in your meditations. It is a source of great joy for we of Hatonn to be able to join any group or any entity as their meditations are conducted. We would assure each in this circle tonight that we would be most happy to join them in meditation at any time, whether they are with this group or alone, meditating. We would be most happy to join you, and your request is all that is needed. We are known to you as those of Hatonn, simple messengers of the love and the light of the infinite Creator. And in that love and the light we leave you now. I am Hatonn. Adonai.